I'm trying to. I didn't pick my nose. I just got a nose piercing. And the bar in the nose, it just keeps sticking out. And I don't want it to look a certain way. But I guess it doesn't matter. Anyways. Hey everyone, what's up? It's Brandon Lord. Welcome back to my channel. This is episode 4 of the Accounting Diaries. I didn't release a video last week, but you know, work is finally at a point where I don't feel that stressed out. It's kind of at a slow point. Knock on wood. It's definitely not over consuming. We got through a lot of the hard time in work, and now it seems like it's very close or pretty much at a normal working schedule with month-end close and everything else. So that's amazing. I feel a lot less stressed. I feel more motivated to do more videos. So for episode 4 of the Accounting Diaries, I'm gonna be talking about something I've actually been dealing with though currently at work, and I've dealt with many times in the past, and that's auditors. You know, auditors, gotta love them. I do want to start and say that when I first was pursuing accounting, I did strongly consider being an auditor, mainly because I went to USF, and in the master's program, you could choose 2 different main focuses on what your master's degree would be, and it was tax, and then it was audit and accounting systems, something like that, but audit was in the title. And I picked audit because taxes, to this day, I will never pursue a career in taxes. No thank you. No. I've said, I think in plenty of videos, my disdain for taxes or just working in taxes, it's just not for me. So I chose that, and I had to take quite a few auditing classes just in general throughout my accounting degree, and it was relatively, I don't want to say simple, but it was just kind of you know, basic information. There was just a lot of it. A lot of terms, a lot of rules, a lot of regulations, all that fun stuff, but you could grasp the concepts, and it was pretty much interesting and easy to learn and enjoy, kind of. I don't know. So I did consider going into auditing. However, I noticed with a lot of my classmates, a lot of them that were going on to auditing were also pursuing their CPA exam, and they were part of the accounting society at USF. I think it's called Beta Alpha Psi. And I wasn't a part of that. I was very much just trying to do well in my classes and make it through and do what I can and study and all that. I wasn't really part of any extracurricular accounting activities. That didn't really speak to me. So I noticed that that was the trend with a lot of my classmates that were going on to pursue an auditing career. So I just kind of took a step back, and I was just let me just go into just general accounting starting off with. And I gotta say that was probably my best decision, because I just heard not the best things about people who went into auditing. As far as just off the bat, the long hours. And look, I know I've talked about long hours at my job, or just a lot of work in general. It's still at my latest day, not even that late, maybe 8 or 9 o'clock at night. That is nowhere near the latest days I have heard for my auditor friends. I know my roommate, when I had first moved out, she pursued auditing, and I remember during busy season, she would consistently be working until 8. Not just once a week or just every now and then. It was every day for weeks. You would hear about the long hours, working in auditing, and it just didn't seem worth it, especially considering a lot of auditors will start off auditing but then move into the more corporate accounting field that I was already in. So I didn't see much sense in trying to pursue a career that would ultimately lead me to the field that I'm at now. I don't know. They did get paid a decent amount starting off, so that part I was a little jealous of, but they worked so many hours that I let it go. So that's basically just my thought process and my journey to not becoming an auditor. In accounting, you gotta deal with auditors because every company has auditors, at least if you're like working towards going public or you are public, like you're gonna get audited. And especially when you're working towards being public, the auditors are especially hard because they wanna see everything. And they're just there requesting samples of this, samples of that, samples of everything under the sun. And look, every auditor I've come into contact with have been nice people. So I'm not saying anything like personal. Like everyone seems very nice. At my first company, the auditors were always like on site, like in a room, and like they would ask for samples, but we could easily provide. They were always very nice. So it's not that, it's just, oh my God. So like just doing so many audit requests and they ask for like the same things, just in slightly different variations. Like, for instance, and I'm not saying if this is a request I've gotten at any company, just an example of how they would request things hypothetically. For instance, like we want the CIP rec as of year end and have everything that's in the CIP as of that. But also, we want all the activity throughout the year, so all of the transfers in and out. But then also, we want all the additions that went from the CIP to the fixed assets. Now, here's the thing. Transfers in and out usually have to deal with fixed asset additions. So virtually, it kind of is the same thing that they want, but in two separate requests. We want the fixed asset roll forward, okay? Fixed asset roll forward. Mind you, the fixed asset roll forward has all the additions, disposals, transfers. It has all that information because it's a roll forward. All the fixed asset activity for that year. But then in 8 separate requests, we want the transfers, we want the disposals, we want the additions, we want this, we want that. And it's just like, it's all there. It's all there in that first request. And look, it is what it is. You can get back and tell them that. But when you already have so much to do and you're working through so many different audit requests, it's just annoying when it gets repetitive and they don't really realize they're being repetitive. I don't know, it's also just intimidating whenever the auditors are asking for something because like you're being audited, like it's pretty like, you gotta like have the right stuff. So when they're like coming up to you and being like, can you explain this thing right here and how we got to this salary amount and this backup doesn't make much sense to me, can you please explain it? And it's just like, no I can't. I don't know, it just can just add like a level of like, ugh. Like when they're in office, I should say, more so. But also when you get an email from an auditor, it's always like, oh God, what do they want? Auditors, I feel like, can also just be a bit too meticulous. Is that the word? Maybe, I don't know. They just get too much into the details. I feel like that's bad to say like, oh, they want to know the details too much. But I don't know, it can just be annoying. Like it's already stressful enough getting your job done. And then you have like this outside force that's coming in, reviewing your work, asking all these questions. And it's just like, it's nerve-wracking, it's annoying, I don't know. And look, it's not the auditor's fault. It's the job. Like, it's a necessity. You gotta do it. It's just annoying, okay? And it also can just be annoying when like the auditors are just like there and they're asking like all these questions and derailing you from getting like work you really need to get done. And they're asking like these dumb questions that like aren't even like that necessary, and then you have to explain all this, and then you get on tangents, and then you're talking for an hour, and next thing you know, you lose like 2 hours of your day when you had so much more to get done. It can just be annoying, but again, auditors are necessary. I don't want to be anti-auditor. Even though anyways. Yeah, I would never like want to be an auditor, because I just know like working in accounting how much they're like, not hated, but just like tolerated, I should say. I don't know. So like I could never just be one and like go in and be like, hey, how y'all doing?
Hey, how y'all doing?
Can you explain these 18 entries and like how you got to them and the backup that you provided? And what does this mean? And what does that mean? But yeah, that's pretty much it for today's video. Nothing but respect for auditors. I get it. It's your job. You gotta do it. It can just be annoying, but that's okay. Anyways, with that being said, thank you all so much for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see y'all next time. Bye!